Hello, I'm Ted Kofi and welcome to another edition of African News. Well, there's only one story that's running globally right now, and that's a story of the response to the death at the hands of a police officer of George Floyd in Minneapolis. The officer kept his knee on his throat for a period of 9 minutes while George Floyd complained that he couldn't breathe, while George Floyd literally begged for his life. He died. Shortly afterwards, the officer was dismissed together with the 3 other officers involved, and later on, charges of murder in the 3rd degree were brought to bear. Now, murder in the 3rd degree basically means that it was not an intentional killing, it was an accidental killing, and would mean that the perpetrator of such a crime, if convicted, would serve literally a few months, possibly a few years in jail. Minneapolis exploded. And very quickly, the demonstrations against the injustice of this system spread right across the United States of America. Now, those demonstrations have been picked up in other countries in sympathy for this completely outrageous slaughtering of an innocent man who was unarmed and of absolutely no danger to the policeman who killed him. The countries are London, Copenhagen, Berlin, New Zealand, Australia, Japan, Iran, Russia. Demonstrations have taken place in all of these places, many leading to the delivery of a petition to the American embassy in those cities and in those countries. Now, closer to home, right here in the United Kingdom, students are also getting involved in the demonstrations. Later on this week, the alumni and graduates of Oxford University, one of Britain's most elite institutions of education, are lending their voice in a 3-pronged demonstration aimed at fighting anti-blackness, racism, and police brutality. I spoke with their organizer, Femi Nylander, and he explained that they felt that given the outrage of the circumstances in which George Floyd died, they absolutely wanted to add their voice to the chorus of complaints against how American policemen treat black Americans. Now, the question that arises for me is whether or not there is an argument to say that given the horror of this situation, so graphically filmed in that video which has now gone viral and worldwide, given the horror of that video, is there an argument which says that May the 25th, the day on which George Floyd was killed, should be marked globally as World Anti-People of African Origin Day? Because discrimination against people of African origin is not just something that happens in America. It's not just something that happens in Europe. It's something that seems to happen globally, worldwide. In Australia, for example, what is known is that 400 Indigenous Australians have died in police custody since 1991 in circumstances which have not ever been made particularly clear. So this isn't something that just happens in the outside world. Significantly, demonstrations are being organised in different cities in Australia in sympathy with the killing of George Floyd in America. So there we have it. It is strange that while under lockdown conditions, this news matter has shot to the north of the news agenda. And it seems as if the whole world has joined voices to say that the way the American state treats its black citizens is simply not good enough. I'm Teta Kofi. This has been another edition of African News.